It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Time for the Southern California Writers Association Hump Day Book Tour. I'm your host, Maddie Margarita, here with Diana Pardee on tech. Every Wednesday morning, SCWA turns our Facebook page over to a new author to talk about their books and their work. This morning, we are pleased to have with us Karen Sue Walker. Karen is an authorpreneur and founder of Lara Gray Press. She's also the author of the Bridal Shop Cozy Mystery Series and the Haunted Tea Room Cozy Mystery Series. Inspired by classic mystery authors like Agatha Christie, cozy mystery authors like Jenn McKinlay, Joanne Fluke, and Carolyn Dean, Karen also loves humor stories by Jana DeLeon and Jana Evanovich. This summer, she will be releasing a new action adventure mystery series under the name KC Walker. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning, Maddie. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're pleased to have you here, and we're excited to talk about your series. It's not often we get to interview a multi-series author. So, I mean, it's hard enough to write one series and write one series well, but you're writing multiple series. Can we talk a little bit about where you started and where you are now and how you decided to branch off into the two different series?
Yeah, one day I decided to write a book because that's what, we do.
One day, yeah.
In my mid-50s, I think I'll write a book. And I was just enjoying cozy mysteries. And I thought, I think I can do this. So 3.5 years later, Murder in White Lace came out. And that was the first series, The Bridal Shop Mystery.
Great cover. That's a great cover. Can we see that again?
Yeah, this is, although in the ebook has a different cover because
that's beautiful. Yeah.
And actually this is much nice. I like this cover in the paperback better than the ebook, but that's another story. We could talk about
right.
3 hours about covers. But and I wrote 3, kind of in my mind to write 3, and I really didn't have a plan after that. So which is bad. You want to plan the after. You're like your long-term goals. So I kind of floundered for a while, and then I said, well, let me just write a 4th bridal shop mystery. Oh, that'll be easy. I can crank it out. So 2 years later, the final, well, for now, Murder in Lavender Silk, came out, and I just went, that was too hard. So I kind of looked at my process, everything else, and I started writing old-fashioned murder. I wanted something fun, funny. I had a goal for something that would appeal to Jana DeLeon or Jana Evanovich readers, that those things I like that kind of make you laugh, and they're kind of, this is really good, you should traditionally publish it. I'm like, okay. But that takes a long time. So what am I going to do in the meantime? So I started writing the Haunted Tea Room Mysteries, which funnily enough, I sent out my newsletter about what am I going to write, and one of the readers sent back, you should do something like Ghost and Mrs. Muir. And I'd never watched the movie. So I watched the movie. Oh. Started writing them, and after I might have even published the first one before I realized my reader that had written me was Charmin McGraw, who wrote the Dying to Date, a great book, by the way. So that just cracked me up. But so I started writing those, and kind of put some feelers out for traditional publishing, and I just realized, number one, I am not patient. I'm not a patient person. You have to be patient to traditionally publish. And number 2, I hate rejection. So I got like 2 rejections, one for that and one for a story. And I went, no, I'm done. And the other thing is that I'm a control freak. And everything about, I have control over everything with my books. So I always knew I was kind of distracted because, and then I hired Mariah Carey, we always call it that, Mariah Sinclair, who did these covers. And
yeah,
so she has quite a backlog. So it took me several months to get that cover. And in the meantime, I was able to kind of, I hired an editor for this one and went through a lot of revisions and critique group and all that stuff. So, because I wanted to just be really just the best I could. And I'm going to release that in August, like probably mid to late August. So, and oh my God, and I have a cover for the second one. I haven't started writing it yet, but I have the cover, and it's just, the covers are so fantastic. And if anybody wants to see the cover, you go to CaseyWalkerAuthor.com. You can see the cover for Old Fashioned Murder, and you can also sign up for my for updates and get a copy of The Black Daiquiri, which is the prequel for that series.
Okay. First of all, love that title. And I love, I love being able to sit down and take one of your books and read it and get transported into another world, but a world that I want to live in, not a world that scares the bejabbers out of me. So talk a little bit about your characters and how you built your characters to support. Is it a 3-book series kind of approach, or would it be more books? Or
well, I tend to do, I like a 3-book arc. I think it works really nicely. And then I try and have some overarching theme or plot line that kind of carries over. In the bridal shop, it was a romance thread. In Trader, it was learning about the ghost and his backstory. I mean, in the tea room. And yeah, in the, I was watching, have you watched, what is it? Oh, Queens of Mystery.
no,
No, you have to watch it. It's really good.
well,
It's
I'm writing it down.
Coronate, maybe, who, I don't know. It's I'm watching that, and there's this backstory about her mother, and the whole first season, you still don't, it's just teased, right? I'm like, so they're in Old Fashioned Murder, there's just the beginnings of the story about her mother, and that's going to carry over quite a while if I wanted to.
As long as people keep reading, right?
Yeah.
So,
But we about the world. I mean, I create a world that, with the crazy stuff that's going on, I can escape to the world of my books, and all the characters are people that I would want to have for friends. I mean, you have there's always some cranky old lady, and there's just a young innocent or a wacky person, and just a lot of love and compassion and all those things. I can just immerse myself in it. That's what I like to do.
So what is there such thing as a Karen Sue Walker protagonist? I mean, what can people expect of the heroes in your books, or the protagonist?
Yeah, I with Max Walters from the first series, people said she was kind of vanilla, but I kind of pictured her like Mary Tyler Moore. You know how she's kind of the center. She's like the relatively normal one among all these wackies. So, and she's just somebody who's just, you would want for a friend. She's loyal, she's kind, she's
Solid.
She solves mysteries, catches killers. We all want
right.
And then T is for Trouble. I decided to have an older protagonist who's going through a lot of turmoil, right? And so she kind of makes this impulsive decision to buy this Victorian house and turn it into a tea room, just because everything's worked out great for her in her past. So, I mean, financially, everything else not financially. So she's like, I can do this. So she's got a lot of optimism, but she's more real and down to earth. And then in the new series, I really feel like I found my voice with Whitley Leland. She's nothing. She's an out of work stunt woman, former gymnast. As somebody who's never been able to do a cartwheel in my entire life, It's super fun and she's snarky. I mean, I hope she's not. I had to kind of tone her down a little because people kept saying she was mean. I'm like, she says all the things that I wish I could say.
We all need an outlet, Karen. So there you go.
Yeah,
Well, that's so exciting. So it sounds as if when you approach these books, when you said the 3-series arc, that you kind of know how you're going to write these books and how they're going to end, or do you outline, or do you just write and see where is it a mystery to you, or just a mystery to us?
Sometimes I have tried everything. So I like to, especially these last 2 years, 2.5 years, have been this self-discovery. And part of that is discovering how the best way for me to write. So now what I do is my one friend Sherry called it signposts, but or beats, that. So I write, I know who's gonna die. So
oh boy.
And that's gonna happen fairly quick. And then at about a quarter point, there's a twist. So I write from twist to twist. So I know what the twist is going to be. So then I write, but if I know too much, if I outline the whole thing, I feel like, well, I've already told the story. Now I have to write it? Really?
I think it's boring. But I was just going to say, one of the things I like about your books is that they really, sometimes when people say cozy mystery, people have a perception of, or an incorrect perception of the book. But I mean, I love yours because there really is a mystery. And so, and they are cozy because of the settings, I think, in a lot of ways. But how about your new series? Would you consider that cozy?
It's cozy adjacent or cozy with an edge. It still has no language, no gore, no sex. Sorry.
but you don't have to be sorry. Don't say sorry to me, Karen.
Sorry to whoever likes sex in their books. But it's not that super sweet. It's not that there's no cozy hook like a bakery, or, I mean, she does drink a lot, so there's that. And she mixes drinks and as a part-time bartender on the side while she's struggling to resurrect her career. That is, I'm not sure. And that's, you ask about how much do I know? I don't know if she's ever going to resurrect her career, because she's got a mouth and she's gotten herself in trouble. So
we all can, I think, relate to that at some point. So you are so busy writing all these books. You're also busy marketing them and publishing them. So, and I know that we talked about your newsletter. So how can people sign up for your newsletter if they're interested in keeping up with you? Because I can barely keep up with you.
If you go to KarenSueWalker.com, right on the front page, there's a newsletter sign up. And I send it out usually once a week, depending on, I like to do it once a week, because then if I miss the week, it's not a big deal. So I did miss this week because I was busy. And yeah.
So people who go to your website and your newsletter get little bonuses, right?
I give away a lot of stuff. I give, pictures of my dog, Kit. Hey, do you want a treat? Here, want a treat? No. She's hiding out.
Shy. Yeah.
So I've given out stories that I've written that before publication. I'm always finding other books by other people and things like that. So I like to give a lot of content. And stories as, just little mini stories about my crazy life sometimes.
So we talked a little bit about the settings. We touched on that. We touched on the characters a little bit. So what is it that you hope people feel when they finish reading one of your books? When they close the last page, what is it that you hope that they feel?
I hope that they feel like they spent a really lovely time with some good friends, and that they can't wait to spend more time with them. And I also hope that they enjoyed a little puzzle. I like my mysteries to be a puzzle, because I think that's what cozy readers really love, is following the clues. So I like to leave clues and breadcrumbs and red herrings and all that. Yeah.
I love your books. I love your series. I can't wait to have your news or start reading your new series and meet Whitley because she sounds like a hoot. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for being here. This sounds like a good place to stop. We're running out of time. So thank you for being here. Best of luck.
Thank you, Maddie. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and keep us in the loop when that comes out. Okay, and we'll come back, and hopefully you'll come back.
Okay.
All right. Okay, good. Well, we thank Karen and we thank everyone for being here. If you enjoyed today's interview, and honestly, who could not, please feel free to share it on Facebook, or you can go to SCWA Writers Online, which is our YouTube channel, and find our interview with Karen Sue Walker and other authors to enjoy. So we hope you had a wonderful day. We hope you keep reading and that we can help you find your next favorite author. I'm Maddie Margarita, and this has been the Hump Day, SCWA Hump Day Book Tour. See you soon.